Let me get the thing up so I can see if I'm getting any hiss, and I'm not, so that's good. Hello and welcome to a newly revived Nothing to Play. Oh Christ, I was trying to say so much. Oh, this is going to be a long day.
Well, this is going so fucking well.
I'm just going to leave the in, I think. Hello and welcome to a newly revived Nothing to Play. I'm smiling now because we just had to do... This is the third take because I keep saying and I really want to stop saying So, newly revived Nothing to Play. We had a bit of a hiatus over Christmas because we had nowhere to host our podcasts. We could have done it on... Well, we still do it on YouTube. There we go. SoundCloud. We ran out of space on SoundCloud. We didn't really want to pay SoundCloud. We now have a new website, nothingtoplay.co.uk, because basically by the sound of our voice you can tell we're British, and the .co.uk one was free and the .com one wasn't. So whoever has .com, damn you, that would have been mine. So we now host our podcasts on the website. The RSS feed should be up and running. I apologise for the banner already because it's just the stretched logo. We will probably be looking at changing the logo as well. The banner is being... oh God, I want to say the banner's being done by a good artisty friend of ours, and we've seen it, so it's going all right. It's just he's sometimes a bit slow with drawing, so that could take a couple more days.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's not too far away.
It's pretty good so far. It's pretty good. It's he's got all the, I want to say got all the lines in, but that's all art it is really, isn't it? It's just lines and colour. It needs to be coloured. It needs to be coloured and finished, and then it'll be done. Oh Christ! So
why is it reviewing Erms today?
I don't know. It's just a very day. It's an
I think that's the title of our podcast. That's what
just
it is.
podcast. So I just want to say right. News.
I apologise for my mate here. He's just absolutely terrible tonight.
I don't know what it is with I'm just losing.
It's a Thursday night. It's almost the weekend.
It is. It's Thursday night. So it's Thursday 12th. You will know if you've been following anything that Friday the 13th is also a bad day. But it's the Nintendo Press. Is it Nintendo Treehouse? Is that what they call it?
That's what they were calling it at E3, where they were showing off all the demos of, the demo of Zelda. They were streaming that all day. So maybe it's the same. I don't know. I haven't looked.
I'm not sure. I've seen it written somewhere that it said Nintendo Treehouse, but I don't know if that was the one from the E3 or if it's also going to be called this one. What were they called? They had a name for them, and I can't for the life of me remember what they are. I'm probably just going to try and search it now, actually. But yeah, so we've got
the Nintendo Direct. Is that what you're on about?
Nintendo Direct, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, it's the big. I want to say the big reveal tomorrow for.
Well, it technically is. I mean, we had the announcement of what the console was, and then we got a little preview of on that American chat show. I forgot what it was now. What was it called?
Is it Jimmy Fallon? He does
something like that. Yeah, it was on that. So we saw that, but this is the proper reveal of it. So I'm going to say it's the reveal. I'm not really sure what is left to reveal, to be honest, because we know. Well, the games lineup, the actual features, maybe the spec they'll go into, although Nintendo don't really ever go into spec, but they might do this time. I don't know.
No.
Things like that, really. It's an actual proper reveal of the game. It's the lineup of games that's the main point of this.
I would love to see some games. I would love to see the games running on the hardware to see what they actually look like when they're in the dock and just on the tablet itself. I'm hoping they release the price because
they're definitely going to release the price, and it'll be the release date.
Isn't the release date still 17th of March? Where am I getting 17th from?
Was that actually are you sure that's actually the release date? All they said was March, as far as I was aware.
I don't know where I'm getting 17th from. But yeah, so there has been a leak. 17th is a Friday. There's 5 Fridays and it's the 3rd Friday, so it's pretty much a bang mid-month March.
I could see that being it.
Oh, am I thinking of Andromeda? Is Andromeda March?
That's 21st of March, and 23rd for us.
But 23rd's a Thursday. Games don't come out on Thursdays. Unless it's 24th.
Is it a Thursday?
Yeah, it could be 21st or 24th.
I'm pretty sure it said 23rd.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure now.
Anyway, in America, Andromeda's at 21st.
Anyway, the Switch is out in March sometime.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Will Zelda make release?
Well, if you look at the Eurogamer article about it, they said that it looks like the Japanese and US version will make it for launch, but the European SKU may not, because they presumably haven't done the translations yet.
See, I read that and I was just like, no, how if they've done the American one, then it's exactly the same for us. I keep forgetting that there are other languages in Europe. So I guess
we use the European SKU, which has obviously all the European languages on it, and the American SKU that does have other languages, but it doesn't share the same language pack as the European SKU.
That would make sense. I guess we get, well, I don't know well, I guess we've got in the PAL and the EU territories tend to have like English, French, German, maybe Spanish. The only one that I can think that America wouldn't have particularly is German, because there's a big Spanish population, big French population.
Yeah, how it works is the Japanese SKU will have Japanese obviously, and English. That's all that will have. Then the US SKU will have English, Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, and French Canadian. And then the Europe edition has English UK, Spanish, Italian, German. Oh, I'm missing one.
French,
yes. French. And then a lot of the time we'll also put the Russian on there as well.
Russian? Oh, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, I would be... I mean, surely the Japanese would have other languages as well. I mean, I know you said it had Japanese and English, but wouldn't it do Korean and other...
No.
Huh. How very odd.
They'd have separate SKUs. Chinese release that would just have English and Chinese simplified and Chinese traditional.
Chinese is weird. They have lots of different dialects.
Mm-hmm.
We've sort of gone off on a tangent again. So yeah, I guess Zelda probably won't make it on release. Are you now any more or less likely to buy it, knowing that Zelda might or might not be there?
It depends what the new Mario is like. If it's a proper 3D Mario like Mario 64, I would probably still pick it up on the day of release.
I'm not sure what
Oh, well, depending on price as well, obviously.
I think they've said the console, there's going to be There's two SKUs for the console. There is one with less memory for 250 and one with more memory for 300. What the memory is, I would be surprised if the memory wasn't 32 and 64, because let's face it, they made the 8 gig Wii Basic and that was just the worst idea. But that
was, what was it, 8 gig or something?
Yeah, it was 8 gig Wii Basic, and then I think the next one up was 32, and the day one patch for the console was 7 gig. So they really, unless you had like an external hard drive, there was no point going for the basic.
No.
So we've got that price to go. There is, I mean, yeah, it does depend what sort of games. I don't know about buying. I still want to be on the fence about buying it. I need to see more about it. Every time a new console comes out, I get super excited for it. I really want to buy it. I'll sit and stare at it for ages, and then I will go and buy one, and then just never use it. It's worse when it comes to handheld consoles, because I always sort of think, oh great, console, proper games on the go. I can buy proper games, and they're always really expensive and cut down versions of the ones you can play at home. And then I never take the console anywhere. So I end up with just something gathering dust. Happened with the PSP, happened with the Vita, happened with the 3DS.
But it's different this time. It's a home console that you can take away with you.
Yeah, so
the games are going to be normal games that you'd find on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, on your PC, whatever. Full titles, but you have the ability to just take it with you if you want. Like, I imagine in your situation, you'll probably be playing it at your TV for a bit, and then you go, right, I'm going to go to bed. You can take it up with you, sit in bed, play for a bit longer, and then go sleep.
That's sort of what I. That's sort of what
I remember you saying you did that with using your Vita for a while, streaming from the PlayStation.
Yeah, I'd. What was I playing? I was playing. It was when I was playing Final Fantasy 14. And I would have it on the console, and I would use the remote play on the Vita, and just as I was doing something else, just be like grinding, like farming or something, or crafting something that didn't really require any effort, and that was ideal. That was the best situation, and I've been saying for years, it's the same thing I think with the 3DS. I was just sort of like, if you had a dock and you could play your 3DS games on your TV, and then like disconnect it and play your 3DS games out and about, that would be the best thing ever. And so the Switch really kind of it does do what I want it to do, I think, but I'm still it does depend on the games. I've been burnt by Nintendo before. They need their third-party support. There's already a couple of third parties that said, yeah, we'll support you, but they said that with the Wii, they said that with the Wii U. People made one or two games, just said, the market's not there and it's not really worth it for us. And then that was it. No more games. So,
well, the thing is, if people buy this console, the third parties will go to it. It's that simple. Obviously, they need to take a bit of a chance at the start. So you probably get won't get so many big titles coming to the Switch from the third parties at first. You might get some smaller games, or like downloadable type games for it. But if the console starts selling well, then they're going to start developing for it. It's just business sense.
Yeah, and it's the same with like ports. It's not going to be a console that you port a PS4 or an Xbox One game to, because it's just not going to look as good. The features will have to be cut out. So it's going to be it's going to be the console that people put their like one of a kind games on, or the indie games. It's not going to be a AAA.
There's going to be so many indie games on this console, and it's going to do well for it as well, I think.
Yeah, Nintendo really need to throw their support in for it, because I felt like Nintendo's support for the Wii U was a little bit lackluster, just because they weren't making the games for it. If they'd have made a full Metroid, they'd have sold more. If they'd have made a proper Zelda game, it only got the remaster of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. It didn't get its own Zelda game. It didn't even really get its own Mario game. It got Mario. No, that's not fair. They did New Super Mario World 3D.
Well, that was really good, but didn't that share a lot from the 3DS version anyway?
I think it was pretty much just a 3DS port.
So I didn't play the 3DS version, so I don't know. But I played the Wii U version and it was really, really good.
I've not played a Mario game since Sunshine, actually. Sunshine was the last Mario game I played. No,
yeah, I never got on with that one.
Tell a lie. I did play Galaxy. I played Galaxy for a bit.
Oh, I never got to play the Galaxy games. I really hope they become backwards compatible with this machine because I'd love to play them.
Yeah, I think they really want to go with like Virtual Console, and I kind of hope they do a lot with Virtual Console. I hope they get their online shit sorted out because, you know, Sony have done it, Microsoft have done it. They tried to push into it with Splatoon a bit. They need to invest more in the online side. And I hope they get the pricing sorted out because someone needs to do something. Digital versions of games are still easily like twice the price as like the retail copy, and I can't figure it out. People say, oh, it's much more convenient to just download it. It's not convenient enough for me to want to spend an extra 20 quid or just wait tomorrow for an Amazon delivery to drop through the door.
Well, I think that will eventually sort itself out once games aren't being put on a physical medium and then it's download only. Like, I mean, look at Steam. How many years did it take Steam to become what it is now, and you get all these great games? And there was I can't remember. I think it was on PC Gamer or something. Just before Christmas, they had their article about how long does it take a AAA game to go on sale on Steam after it's been released, and it's about 3 to 4 months, and then you'll get a discount, and that's it. Well, a lot of the time now you get a 10% discount before it's even out.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, depending on the company and how it's selling or whatnot, or if there's some kind of Steam sale coming up, you'll find that about 3 to 4 months after the release, you'll get a drop, and it's usually around about 33% drop.
Yeah, the price drop on Steam's pretty good, but even with retail games, like I've tried not buying games on day of release. I will tend to give it at least a week, and after a week you tend to find that games will drop £5-10. Like some have gone ridiculous. Like the Advanced Warfare with the remaster of Modern Warfare 2 was sort of like 80 quid at release. It's now about 25.
Yeah, the prices of the games that came out last year they dropped really quickly, and all these special editions have dropped really quickly as well. You know, they're coming down to reasonable prices. Although half of them didn't even have the game with them, which annoys me.
Oh yeah, that's
it's not like it's even like they didn't even give you a digital code. It's just you buy the collector's edition and then buy the game separately.
That is a trend that needs to end. It started. The first time I saw it was with Wolfenstein, The New Order. They had this big, like in the game you get these big sort of like mechanical dog monster things, and there was a big statue of one of the big dog monster things, and it came with a steelbook but not the disc. So when you went out and bought a copy, you could take your disc out of the plastic case and put it in the steelbook. It's just that seems like a real waste of time. And I recently bought what was it? Watch Dogs 2, which is a great game, and I got the limited edition, which came with the plastic case and the steelbook. So I took it out of the plastic case and put it in the steelbook, and both of those came in a like cardboard wallet thing. So I've just got the plastic case with nothing in and the steelbook with the disc in another case. So that's
although that seems to be a bit of a trend as well. Well, we'll do a special edition steel case and we'll just shove the steel case in there, and that's it. I don't mind that. That's fine. As long as you get the game.
Yeah, as long as they're giving you more than you need. Giving you less than you need is not fair. Oh God!
We're slightly off topic there. So, right, what's your prediction for the reveal tomorrow?
When is it actually? That's a good.
It's 4:00 in the morning our time, and I think it's around about 8:00 at night or something US time.
Right, so you can sit and eat your breakfast and watch the or watch the YouTube clips or read up about it. That'd be good.
I was contemplating getting up at about 5 and watching it before I go out, but I thought, nah, I'll just watch it when I get to work.
Yeah. So what do I think we'll get? We will see some Mario, whether it will be the game or just like a tech demo or like an example of the level. They have to show you games running on the hardware, like actually on the screen with a camera on the screen and then docked, so you can sort of see the difference. There'll probably be a bit more Zelda in there.
Oh, they're definitely going to show some more Zelda, that's for sure. I agree. Mario and Zelda, and they'll show Splatoon as well, and I think that's the game that's going to be bundled with the console.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because they want to position that as a kind of an esport game, judging on the original trailer.
Yeah, they did try and make a big deal of it, but I know people spoke highly of Splatoon, but I
it looks like so much fun.
I don't even know if it looks like fun. I'm not.
I just don't know how long it would interest me there. So I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer, so I think it'd be fun. If it's bundled with the console, that's probably the way I buy it and play it.
Yeah.
If it's not, I might get it when it's cheap, but then Nintendo goes never go that cheap.
I think
so
Splatoon.
I don't know.
I think Splatoon got quite cheap, to a degree. I also think we'll see a Mario Kart, or like is it Mario Kart 8?
I think it will be a port with extra features.
Yeah, and I would be shocked if there wasn't a FIFA game.
Yeah, true.
They
I didn't even think about the sports games. Yeah, there are probably quite a lot of the sports games.
Yeah, there will be a sports game on there somewhere. I'm sure there will be. Well, they already showed off the NBA game. I think we'll get the weird like peripherals and other little add-ons. They've already sort of spoken. I don't know if it was a leak as such or someone's just spoken about what's going to be shown, but it sounds like there is the stuff like the in-car charger,
it's leaked the other day.
The Pro Pad, the thing that clips onto the back of your headrest so you can clip your console in there for some reason.
Screen protectors, carry cases.
Yeah, sticker, decal set
vinyl things.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Hyperkin. I was just looking. Hyperkin has a really nice travel case. It's like a laptop bag, and it's got all the different component areas to put your controllers and the console itself and extra pads and stuff. It looks really. I think I might actually pick that up. It looks really nice.
Don't buy the game, just the carry case.
Yeah, the carry case would be great for other things.
What else are they talking about? The I don't know if they've announced that it will be compatible with Amiibos yet. I'm sure it's...
Well, it was in the Amiibos were in the trailer, so it's definitely going to be.
Were they?
And they'd be stupid not to. Yeah, they were lined up on one of the person's shelves.
Yeah,
next to the console.
It would make no sense if they weren't compatible. The thing has to have NFC in them, or someone did say that they'd filed a patent for like an NFC portal thing, so I don't know. But yeah, I would be shocked if it wasn't Amiibo compatible.
It looks like it's going to be touchscreen as well.
Oh yeah.
Multi-touch screen is that as well.
The little Joy-Con things will have a rumble feature and a tracking kind of ability thing, which kind of goes back to backwards compatibility with possibly the Wii and the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I hope if they do, well, you can't really do it. I'm sort of thinking if they made it compatible with the Wii U games, then hopefully they'll make it so you can have a game on the TV and use your Switch as...
You can't do it, it has to be docked.
Yeah. So that's just not going to work. Unless you have to have two Switches, but then who'd do that?
Somebody would. But
oh, God,
it wouldn't... No, it's pointless. It has to be docked. And then when you're coding the game, you have to do it to the base type levels. So it'd be stupid to buy a second Switch and you can have a second screen experience. No, it's just not going to happen.
No. So yeah, that's that I think is everything that I'm kind of expecting. They will probably throw out something weird. It'd be nice if they had like a Metroid as well. I bet
we'll have to, on next week's podcast, we'll have to have a little chat about what we got right and what we got wrong.
Yeah, a proper recap. Yeah, I guess I would like heavy virtual console support. There are people that have a big virtual console library, and I want for them to be able to play their virtual console. I mean, I don't have any virtual console games, so it would be expensive for me to get into.
I had a few on the Wii and the Wii U, but I won't have them going into this because I got rid of those consoles ages ago, and they're not tied to your Nintendo account as far as I'm aware. I think you'd have to rebuy them again.
When
I'd have to look into it. When I actually log in and see if I can actually download any of my console games, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get hold of those games again.
I don't think so. There was a thing when the Wii U came out where you could transfer your games from your Wii to your Wii U.
Yeah, you have to back them up onto an SD card and then transfer them over or something like that.
It transferred the licenses, so you couldn't play it on the Wii, but you could on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's how I did mine. I transferred it over, so I had them all there still. But I got rid of my Wii U ages ago and deleted everything off, so even if there was some way of doing it, I wouldn't be able to do it anyway.
No, they need to sort out the online. And they're going to put that, like, is it Miitomo app thing?
Yeah, I think that's going to be on there as well.
Yeah. Pokemon Go. How would Pokemon Go work? Because that needs GPRS. It could have GPRS in it. I don't know.
I doubt that'll be on there.
I don't know.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I very much doubt it.
Yeah. It seems like such the oh, no, tell a lie. There was someone who said that the Pokemon they had like Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS, and I think it was going to be Pokemon Star or Stars was going to be the Switch one. So there might finally be a Pokemon game on console.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the 3DS and the main console in one, so we're going to get Pokemon games on it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll start porting. Well, I say hopefully. How would you port a 3DS game? I guess I want the.
Well, you could just you could have the screen as
sort
two
of
different,
separated in two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could do it that way. It'd be possible, but you'd have to do a lot of work. I'd think.
Yeah.
To get it to work.
Well, I guess it's one of those things where we'll have to wait and see what they really do show us, but. I think
I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see what the lineup is, what the price is, when it's coming out, everything, and then I can make a decision whether to keep it or not.
Yeah,
keep a pre-order or not.
Price I think is going to be sort of 250 or £300. The two price points.
I'm going to go 200 and 250. Go £50 lower on each one. I just feel. They're not gonna make it for a loss because it's not the Nintendo way, but they're gonna really want to price it well so it goes against the other consoles.
Yeah, they have to make it so. But then how they really don't have to make it so you think, oh right, which one am I going to buy? Because people will buy an Xbox or a PS4 and a Switch. I think it's going to be one of those things that you have as well as one of the other consoles. It's not going to be your main choice for gaming.
It's never going to be your main console. Well, for some people it will be, but majority of people it will be a second console or a third console. But yeah, they're not directly in competition with Microsoft and Sony. They're doing their own thing, but they're definitely want to position themselves as a second console. So if you get a second console, you don't want to spend a shit ton of money on a second console.
Yeah,
you're not going to play too much. You just go in there to play the exclusive games.
It's well. I say it's
and if Nintendo's smart, and I think they are, I think they'll realise that, and then that way they can probably make a lot of waves into the market, and before long maybe even surpass both of them.
Surpassing both of them.
That's very hopeful talking on their part, but
yeah, I think that's a bit of a far cry, but they have. Let's face it, they have the handheld market. There's no other console that comes close to the level of sort of
you see
saturation.
With that, you're hoping that those people that have the 3DSs and the DSs and whatnot look at the Switch and go, yeah, that's cool, I want that now, and also I can use it as a home console. So that opens up their market even more so with that.
But then the people that look at the 3DS and say, yes, this is a console for me, are the people that say, I can fold it up and put it in my coat pocket and then run off and not have to worry about it. But then if you're trying to lug around a 6.2 inch screen with two controllers, I don't know if it's
not portable like the 3DS, but then the 3DS XL was massive and doesn't really fit in your pocket anyway. So I don't know. Well, time will tell. It all comes down to the games.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm still not sure what its place in the market is going to be, or where it's going to find its market. But I guess it's one of those only time will tell things. See what the games are. See what I would be most likely to play on it. I mean, that's how I tend not to listen to the journalists going mad about it or saying that it's going to be the best thing ever, or even the real fans saying, yeah, it's Nintendo's new like salvation, or even the people that just say if they don't get it right this time, Nintendo are doomed. I will look at it and say, if these are games that I want to play, then I think that it will do quite well. Or if these are games that sound terrible, then it still might do quite well, but it just won't be for me.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up the Nintendo discussion.
Oh God, we always go on about Nintendo. We have
well, to be fair,
really long conversations.
To be fair, it's exciting. It's the new thing coming, and Nintendo doesn't get a lot of love. I'm sure for the rest of the year, it'll be Microsoft and Sony. I mean, Microsoft have got Scorpio coming up later on in the year, so I'm sure we'll be talking about that a lot.
Oh God, yeah, the Scorpio. I'm really interested about the Scorpio. I've got zero clue what it is. I want it to be I expect it's a Microsoft branded PC. I don't know though.
Who knows? We'll find out at E3, I'm sure.
Well, there was even a thing saying they're not sure if it's going to make it to E3. I imagine at least we will get some more teasers about it. At most, we will get to see like games running on it.
They'll definitely talk about it, and they'll talk about games being on it. Whether they show it or not, who knows?
Oh, I'd love to see what they actually. Hopefully, it's like another giant Chrome X.
Chrome X.
Don't you remember the original prototype for the Xbox was just a giant Chrome letter X?
Honestly, I don't remember that.
You don't remember it? It's amazing. I'm
gonna have to Google that. I don't remember it at all.
Major Nelson showed it off again on Twitter recently. It was actually, I thought it was just like a silver box and there was a PC underneath it, but it actually has like ports in the back and things. It's ridiculous. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
I still love the why it's called the Xbox. It's because it was running DirectX in a box. So
and they just called it the DirectX box. Yeah.
Then they were like, well, get rid of the Direct and just be called the Xbox. I love that. It's fantastic. Such a wicked name as well.
Yeah, I think the Xbox is. I think Xbox is a really good name for it. I think it's a really good console name, actually. To be fair.
The one thing I wanted to know about you, because you've been playing Final Fantasy 15. I just watched the movie. What was it? A Kingsglaive Glaive. Just watched that the other day. Looks absolutely beautiful. Although sometimes the animation was a bit janky. It's just like every so often you just get this weird movement with their arms as they turned around or something, and then sometimes with their face when they were on a side profile, it just kind of looked like it'd been attached. It just took me out, but everything else just looked absolutely incredible. It was a pretty cool film, to be honest. It was very westernized as well.
The film, I mean, I really liked the film. Who was the guy who did the main voice? It was Jesse from Breaking Bad, whose name I can never remember. And
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul did the main guy's voice, and
bitch.
Yeah, I just picture Jesse. He is now Jesse for me. He will never be anything but Jesse.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So yeah, the film was really good. It set up a lot. They said, "Oh, you've not really got to watch the film before you play the game." I think it's absolutely essential because you would have zero clue what's going on otherwise. The game itself is sort of a bit of a sore point for me because although I really enjoyed it, I thought the game was really good. It's actually not very good, I don't think. So the combat isn't like the combat in the other games. The combat in sort of Final Fantasy 7, 8 and 9, 10, it's all sort of fairly tactical. In Final Fantasy 15, it's pretty much just hold down square to win. So you hold down square and your character rushes at the closest enemy and just slashes at them, and then when that one's dead, it moves to the next one, and then it moves to the next one, and you can cast spells, but I found myself not bothering. And then your three friends have sort of other abilities that they can do, and I found myself not using them because I didn't really see a point in it. And then you get sort of summons much later in the game, but you don't sort of cast them. It's just like a QTE pops up on screen and says hold down these two buttons to summon whoever, and then it summons them and does a load of damage, and it's just really it's not the best way to do it. And the story itself is kind of weak in places, and I got all the way to the end and realised I didn't care about any of the characters, and even the main bad guy, I really had no idea who he was. And the main bad guy in the film is the leader of Niflheim, the old guy in the white robe.
That name just all I ever heard was nipple.
Yeah, and they say nifs as well. They refer to them as nifs, and that's just sort of like boobs. But yeah, that guy not in the game at all. Doesn't even make showing. So it's really it's not a bad game. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It's not. I don't even think it's the worst Final Fantasy I've ever played, but it's not a good Final Fantasy game. I know there's not huge text walls to get through, but because of that you lose pretty much all of the story. And I'm really not selling the game, to be honest, but it's an okay game. So if I would play it. I played it through to the end. I quite enjoyed it. I'm playing it through again, so I guess it's well worth a play.
It was all very down. I'll play through it again. It's great.
Yeah, play through it again. It's alright. Yeah, there's a lot to do.
Through again, that makes it a good game.
There is a lot to do. It's a very nice game. It's a very nice world. There was a lot of sort of stories and side stories that I didn't do because I kind of figured that I could go back to them at the end, and you can't. So it's not bad. I would say it's worth a play, but just don't go into it expecting it to be a Final Fantasy game, really.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy games. I don't play them. The last one I played was 7. So there you go. But they always look really cool. The movie was really good. So I enjoyed that. You posed an interesting question to me, which I thought would be good for our main topic of this podcast. Are magazines still a legitimate way of getting news?
Yeah, that's it's kind of like an interesting thought, because there's still big games magazines, some really big ones that have been going for years and years and years, and are sort of particularly well known at what they do.
Edge, Game Informer.
Yeah, CVG, Games Master.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the official ones. I assume Nintendo still has an official magazine. I guess Sony and Microsoft might. I've not seen them in a long time, certainly.
I actually don't know of our magazines over here anymore. I don't go into newsagents to look for magazines anymore. It's all at my fingertips on the internet. So
yeah, I mean, I tend to.
I don't know the state here. I know the US have Edge and Game Informer still, and they still have every now and again have exclusive stuff. But I don't even need to go pick them up, because IGN or Eurogamer will reference what was in the magazine anyway. So
yeah, it's I mean, when I find myself in like a newsagent or a supermarket, I will, if I'm by the aisle, I'll go down and see what's there, and I might pick up a magazine and think, oh, I might buy a magazine, and then I'll read through the sort of blurb on the front and be like, I've seen it, I know all about that, I've seen it. And you sort of think, well, a magazine will give you sort of like their own kind of screenshots and imagery and art. So if you will get sort of exclusive images to a magazine, because they tend not to, like, a magazine doesn't put their reviews and things online on their website for free, so you'd have to pay to get them. So you might get sort of more information, maybe. And magazines are sort of fairly prestigious, so people that work for magazines have worked in them for a long time, so they might have kind of better sources, and you might get more reliable information, but no more so than like someone on a website, I don't think. And it's I guess a magazine is kind of nice to hold and read, and you can sit on the bus with it and read. I know you can do all these things on your phone nowadays anyway, and it's no real trouble to read Eurogamer on my phone. But I sort of thought, just before Christmas there was an offer, so I could get three issues of Edge for £1 each, and I got 2 books, and the books were free. The books were the things that I wanted, so it's like 100 greatest games and sort of 50 most technical games or something like this. And the books are great. I've read most of the 100 greatest games. I've leafed through the other one a bit, and I got the first magazine sort of just after Christmas through the door, and I thought, oh great, the magazine's finally here, and I just can't even be bothered to flick through it. I kind of opened it and I was like, oh, a piece about some games company and a thing about some designer that I don't know, and a game I've never heard of, and some tiny indie titles that I'm not particularly bothered with. There was a review for Final Fantasy 15, which I looked at the pictures for. It was 2 pages long, as opposed to back in the day where you'd get sort of like 4 full pages of images and words. And it's just not, it just doesn't do anything for me. I already know, by the time the magazine's out, I've already read all of the articles on 2 different websites and read a forum about the same thing. So it's kind of like, do we need magazines now?
Well, my thoughts for news, no, not at all. Waste of time, no point whatsoever. Unless they are now presented the news and then given thoughts and opinions about that news, then maybe that's worth something to you. But for just finding out news, no, you've got websites that get it instantly on the day, and you'll know what's going on. So for news, no point whatsoever. Interviews, now that is something that would be worth picking up a magazine for if you're interested in a particular artist or director on a game that's coming up, or past games, and you want to, they're having an insight or talking about the industry or something like that, then that would be really interesting to actually read in there. That's what a magazine is good for. Reviews, maybe, if you trust their opinions, but again, you're going to get it late to the game anyway. It's going to probably be a month behind, or very. I haven't read a magazine in ages, so I can't remember what I don't know what it's like now when it comes to game reviews, whether they're fairly up to date around the time a game's coming out, but then, depending on the game you're talking about, it's just the internet has everything there and then, and you'll get reviews on day of release or maybe a few days before, and then you've got people playing and streaming, so you've got all this content you can get hold of and make a decision whether you want to buy that game or not. I've been playing games for 28 years now, and I know what I like, and what I see, I can make some kind of judgment whether I'm gonna actually like this game or not, whether I should pick it up on day of release, or if I'm not too sure on it, I can wait, see what reaction is, and then go and buy it, or just buy it later when it's cheaper. I'm pretty good at knowing what I'm going to like and what I'm not going to like. So for me, magazines are there's no point whatsoever anymore.
No, I mean, the two books that I got were great. I think
books is a different story.
Books about games are going to be something else, because you can get these. I can't be bothered to sit and read a massive article at my computer, or like a 100-page book as a PDF, but this book is really handy just to sort of read through. I'm going through even if it's a game I know I don't like, I read all the information about it so I can think, right, at least the next one will be good. So I'm really going through this content. If it was a web page or something, I would skip through the pages just to get it done quicker, and it's not the sort of thing you can't read a bit on a website and think, oh, I'll come back to this later, and save your place like you can in a book. So I think books about games are going to be something. I don't think magazines are.
Well, they're becoming more popular. You're seeing more things with books. Collections of, like you were saying earlier, you had 100 best games and things like that. People are still going to enjoy reading that, but just for general news and reviews, magazines just don't cut it anymore. They really don't.
I think they were a bit outdated.
I can't see them lasting for much longer. And these magazines that are still going, I hope you can go for as long as you can, but you're going to end up just going solely digital in the end. I mean, a lot of these magazines will do digital copies so you can read it on your phone and stuff, but it's still in that monthly format.
Yeah, I think that's there's the magazines that I have subscribed to in the past and have bought in the past. They're now doing you get the paper copy for however much, or the digital copy for however much, or you can get the paper and the digital copy for a bit more. I don't know why you can't just get the paper copy and they say, yeah, here's your link to your digital copy. It's all in the same price. I don't know why they have to charge you more for the digital copy. But then I guess that opens up a lot of trouble, because there are websites where you can just download magazines for free. So,
well, that's the other problem with the internet. Piracy is just, you can get anything. So
yeah, but with a magazine, one person can't buy a magazine and then give it out to 100 million people. So
unless they scan every page.
Yeah, unless they scan every page. So yeah, I guess magazines are kind of like a dying format. Will it get sort of like a resurgence? Who knows? They can't even say, right, we'll do them weekly now to become more current, because the information's already there. Whether or not they take a stance where it's like a daily website, so they get the traffic, and then they do kind of like a roundup of the news in a paper format, so you get news, reviews and opinions and like the best of the internet on paper. I don't know particularly how that might work, but
it's also the idea of paying £5 a month on the magazine for old news and reviews, when I can just go on the internet and not have to pay.
Oh god, yeah, it's free because they get the revenue from sort of advertising and that sort of thing. So it's a strange.
It's a shame because I used to love reading magazines every month. Couldn't wait to get to the next month and see what was in their review of the game I was interested in, or news about the new consoles. It's just that's how you used to find out everything. Now everything's so accessible. It's not quite. I mean, I still get excited. Like, I'm really excited about the Nintendo conference tomorrow, but it's a little different from how it used to be.
Yeah, there was a time when the N64 was out that I would buy like the official Nintendo magazine and then like some of the other magazines as well. So there might be some months where I'd buy 2 or 3 magazines, and they would all sort of have different contents of different games and like different images, because some people might not be able to get access to all the games, so they just have to show what they could get.
Yeah, they're exclusives.
Yeah, and certainly with the Xbox as well. When I had my Xbox, that was kind of like the dawn of like sort of the internet. Well, not really like the dawn of the internet, but that was when kind of websites were getting more and more, I want to say popular, but that's not quite the word either. Websites used to be shit. Just there are old websites in archives and they look awful, just real bad.
I was looking back at Space. I think it was Space Jam.
Space Jam.
That's still there.
Yeah, that's awful. So that's what the internet used to be. And then when the Xbox came out, there were websites that did news and reviews pretty well. So I'd buy a magazine and read the internet as well, and then eventually the magazine got absorbed into a different one, and that's when I stopped buying them, and I'd just get my news online. And it was I did used to miss the magazine, because you'd get a DVD with games demos and videos and things on, and them you couldn't get online. You could not stream a video. You'd have to download it, and then it might not work, and it was dark times for the internet.
Yeah, really. It was. Yeah, so I think magazines are dying, so who cares?
Yeah, I think long story short, magazines bad, books good.
Internet, woohoo!
Yeah, internet best. Well, internet's somewhere between magazines and books.
So, did you, other than playing Final Fantasy, did you get to play anything else, watch anything else over the Christmas holidays?
No, not really. I did try. I picked up Life is Strange really cheap. Did not get on with it. Just those kind of story heavy, everything you do affects the outcome, just doesn't do anything for me. So swiftly gave up on that. I did buy God, what was it? The new Star Ocean game. I've not even unwrapped it yet, so that's a good start. But no, I mean, basically as soon as I finished Final Fantasy, I was like, oh, that was good. Let's start again.
Well, okay, so there's not a lot going on with you then.
Not really. So no, that's pretty much what I've done.
But I've been up to quite a lot then, compared to you. I started playing through the new Doom game.
Oh, really good.
So fucking good. Oh,
really, really good.
Proper old school shooting. The guns are amazing. Just enemies keep flying at you, and the big ass monsters, and the music properly ramps up. The music's fucking amazing on that game.
Music is really good.
So good.
I did kind of find that it was basically. It was really a corridor, so you'd fight all the enemies in one room, then you go down a corridor, then you fight all the enemies in the next room, then you go down a corridor.
Oh yeah, it's very much wave based.
It's that, but it was really.
But that's
good.
Doom. That is Doom.
Yeah, and the each room has a different layout and a different setup, and there's environmental things, and it's really, really good. Really, really good.
I've got 2 levels left, and I'll probably try and finish it this weekend. I just absolutely love that game. I can't speak highly enough about that game.
It was one of those games as well where I just didn't see what was going to happen at the end. It's not sort of obtuse, but it's kind of so old school. You don't know if it's just going to be like the end done, or if there's going to be some like big story arc to it, or what. It's just one of those games where it's just the ending is kind of not a surprise, but then a surprise at the same time.
I've been playing it on PC, and I've got it in max settings, 1080p, and because I've got a G-Sync monitor now, I just having that there just smooth. Oh, it's so good.
It looks and plays phenomenal. It's a really good game.
Yeah, definitely. What else have I been playing? Oh, I started Everyone's Gone to the Rapture because that was free on the PlayStation. About halfway through that. It's alright. I'm not exactly sure why it got so many awards, because like every critic just seemed to gush over it.
When you say halfway through, what do you mean? How long have you been playing it?
Oh, for a couple of hours, 3-4 hours maybe. I'm on the character Lizzie. And I had a look at a walkthrough online just to see where I was, and there's 2 more characters left for me to do. One's a full character, and then the last character you just do something, and then it pretty much finishes. So I'm not that far from finishing.
I wasn't particularly interested in it.
The frame rate's abysmal on the PlayStation though.
Well, I didn't find the frame rate too bad. It did sort of annoy me that I couldn't figure out how to run, and then I read a thing that said, "Oh yeah, there is a run button. It's this." So
there's a run. There's a run. What's the run button?
It's like if you hold down one of the triggers, you slowly gain speed until you are at like a jogging speed, which really cuts down getting around.
Oh my god! Do you know which one it is? Because it has been annoying the hell out of me.
I think it's R2. I think you can. I think if you search it, it will be. There's like the forum, the official forums for the guys that made it. They were just like, oh yeah, people did say it was slow, but there is a run button, and I was pressing all the buttons because it's not immediate. You have to hold it down, and you gain speed slowly. So no one knows that you are running. It's just.
How was it? How was this not explained? How was it in the loading tooltip? That would have been fine. Just give me some.
I know exactly what you mean. I got to the end of the first character. Was it Jeremy, the first one? I think he was the Doctor.
Yes. I can't remember if that was that his name. I can't remember, but yeah, he was the Doctor.
Yeah, so I got to the end of his or whoever's it was, and then I was like, oh yeah, that was a really good game. And then you sort of go to a cottage, and then it's another person. I'm like, I'm done with this. I realised I've been playing for about an hour and a half ish. And
yeah, the first one takes about an hour.
Yeah, I looked online and they were just like, oh yeah, it's a 7-hour game. I'm like, no, not going back to that.
Oh, it's a shame because I'm quite enjoying it.
I think the story was really good. I think the setting's pretty good. I think everything is just pretty good, but I'm just not into the walking simulators in there. If they'd have just put it all as a book, I'd have read the book and I'd said, yeah, the book was good.
See, I'm not like the story's alright. I'm not wowed by the story or anything. I don't know what it is. The game, I'm enjoying the game, but I don't know why. Is it? Cause I do like walking simulators. They do entertain me, but I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's just the setting because it's in England.
Yeah, maybe.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, and it's really 80s as well.
I don't know. What? I was playing another game and it's just completely gone out of my mind. I can't remember what it was now.
But yeah, it really stuck with you.
Oh, Abzu.
Oh, the oceany swimming one.
Yeah, from the creators of Journey. It's really good. It took me 2 hours to complete, but I just sat down, played that, and just was so relaxed. It proper mellows you out, and like you can't die in it. There's no real combat in it or anything like that. There's no puzzles. The only puzzle that you have is find a gear shift to move this bit, go over to the other side and move that one, and then you can go through the door. That's it. But it's just looking at all the different fish, just swimming around. It just looks beautiful. I was playing it in 4K, so it was really nice.
Yeah, I played Journey recently for the first time.
Great game.
I kind of didn't see what all the fuss was about, to be honest. It was okay. It was fairly interesting. I quite liked the story, but at the same time I was just kind of like, well, I've done it once. I think that's as much as I need.
That's a shame. I really enjoyed that. It looked incredible. I loved the little in Abzu. You get the same thing where you press your button to do a little communication. You go whoop, 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 kind of noise, and it doesn't. You can in Abzu when you do that, you can get fish to follow you, and you have these little robot things that you can dig up that help you get through fenced off. It's like kind of like a netting type thing. It'll cut through and then they go away. You can communicate with them and they'll go back to you. That's about it. But yeah, it's just I imagine it'd be pretty cool if you've had a long session playing online, so something like Overwatch or something that's quite intense. And you want to just wind down, just put that on. You'll be properly chilled out. It's great. Enjoyed that a lot. I watched Westworld. Have you seen that?
No, I want to see it. I saw the original film. The original film was great.
I really need to watch the film. I've been told that's really good. But yeah, the TV show is fantastic.
Yeah, the original film is also the first film with computer-generated graphics in it. And when you see them, you'll be like, yeah, that is the first.
Well, it was 1973, so...
Yeah, really old. But yeah, really, really good film. I guess the series kind of follows the story of the film. I don't know anything too much about the series.
It's a theme park with robots that are programmed to play out a narrative, and you can go in and you can slightly deviate their stuff. They react to humans and will, essentially do what humans want them to do. But in the show, some of them are kind of getting some kind of consciousness, and their past lives, shall we say, because when they come in, they can be reprogrammed to do take a new role, but they keep that data in storage, so they can dream about past things, and some of them can remember bits and bobs, and apparently that's to make them feel more human. But I don't really want to give anything away for people that haven't watched it. One of the best things about the show, though, is the soundtrack. Because it's obviously set in the Western time. You've got the piano, and you had pianos that would read the paper data, so it would play the right notes for a song.
Yeah.
They've done it with modern pop songs. So in the first episode they have Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun playing, and it sounds incredible. I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. And then in one of the shootout moments of the show, they have the Rolling Stones painted black, and it's just amazing. So you're going through different episodes, and you just like, I wonder what they're going to play, what song it is. It was a nice little game just to try and see if you can recognise what the song is. Definitely worth watching.
The thing I'm going to take away from this is that I need the soundtrack to Westworld, the TV show.
Yes. Me too. That'd be worth buying on its own. It's absolutely amazing. What else have I watched? I've just started watching the second part of Vikings, and that's cool. I fucking love the Vikings. It's so good. Have you watched Vikings?
No, I think I watched a couple, or am I thinking of Black Flag? I really sort of struggled to sit down and watch like half an hour of anything. The one thing I have watched recently was the Goldbergs. I don't know why. I just really fell in love with the TV show. So I watched 2 series recently over Christmas.
Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs, yeah.
You see, what jumps? I have no idea what that is, but what jumps out to me is the wrestler Goldberg.
It's a comedian. There's a comedian called Adam Goldberg who looks at sort of old home movies that he took, and then kind of builds a story around them, and then at the end of the episode, it shows you the clip of the home movie that he took, and it's basically all about him and his family, and it's surprisingly good. It's one of those things that you've not really got to pay an awful lot of attention to, so it can be on in the background while you do something else. But yeah, I quite like it because all the characters seem really real, and that's because they are. So yeah, it's pretty good. I guess everything's kind of exaggerated a bit, but yeah, pretty good.
The last thing I'll mention that I did over the holidays was I went to see Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh yeah, Rogue One. That's still a thing, isn't it? I've not seen it. I want to see it, but then I know how the film starts and ends, and I don't know what else I can take away from it.
Well, it's the journey through. That's the whole point of the movie.
I guess that's the thing. I mean, if you don't know the ending to a movie, then that's something. But I don't know. It's not like you can sit there and be like, I wonder if the rebels get out okay.
I really enjoyed the film. It had some funny moments. The characters were pretty interesting. The locations were cool. Obviously, you got all the normal Star Wars ships and stuff. Nice little nods to everything in the other films.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. If I had to say something about the film, it would be just the first 10 minutes. It jumps to a load of different planets really quickly.
One of them, eh?
So it progresses. It jumps that story really quickly, and I was like, "Oh crap, what's going on here?" and then it's perfectly paced after that. But I was at the same time, I was also like, "Oh, can we jump to some more planets, please?" Because the planets look incredible, so detailed.
I was
just like, really good. Can I just have a screenshot of that, please? It looks so good. But yeah, definitely worth going to see.
I guess it's going to be one of those things that I will probably watch eventually. And yeah, I think, to be honest, I think we really need to wrap it up because we are now at an hour and 12 minutes. I dare say there's going to be an awful lot of waffle that we can take out in between. But yeah, I guess that was our sort of triumphant return back to recording.
Next week we'll go from a bit more of a streamlined news section, main topic. This one was just kind of get back into it, and I wanted to talk about Nintendo again.
Yeah. And it's sort of being as it's this time of year. There's kind of not an awful lot going on, so hopefully we'll have some proper topics.
I think the only real news this week was Scalebound was cancelled.
Oh God, yeah. We'll have to have a long in depth about that kind of next week, because that's another 20-minute conversation, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was I guess that was kind of episode 4, maybe episode 1, maybe Nothing to Play Reborn, or I don't know. So as for where you can find us, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook as Pondus Plays. I keep trying to be more active on the two, so I'm going to try and be more active on Facebook, and kind of drop a couple of things on Twitter every now and then. With the website nothingtoplay.co.uk, it turns out that the banner, you will have heard my phone go off. That was the banner being finished, so we can really sort of start putting some more effort into that. I will be putting some posters up. I made some posters for, well, I made them for me, but then just never printed them out, because it turns out it's very expensive to print a poster. So every now and then I might throw up a poster which you can download. They're all A4. They are old games adverts with just a little line about at the bottom about what it's advertising, where it came from, what year it is. There are some ridiculous adverts, but really good ones, so I will put them up online for you to enjoy and save and, I don't know, keep. You are not allowed to print them and sell them, just because they are copyrighted and somebody else owns them and no one's getting sued. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah, I'd be on my Twitter. I barely ever post on it. Once in a while I do. I think, like I did the other day, I was congratulating Jamie Jaster on having a really good month on his podcasts last month for downloads. That's probably my favourite podcast at the moment, is the Jamie Jaster Show. If you like your heavy metal, that's definitely a podcast to go listen to. That's for sure. It has some great guests, and it's just a sit down conversation with people. He's not selling anything or anything like that. It's just have a chat about people and the industry. It's really cool. I enjoy it. But yeah, my Twitter is Ivan_Zar. I'm on Facebook with Bald-Bearded Gamer, and Instagram is also Bald-Bearded Gamer. And I also have a YouTube channel, which is Bald-Bearded Gamer. The theme coming here. It's just my Twitter. That I do have a Twitter for Bald-Bearded Gamer, but I never use it. I just took it just because, so no one else would grab it. So yeah, I'm going to try and do some more stuff on YouTube. I want to go through, do like a room tour of my setup, show off some of my collections. I'm very close to finishing my Disney Infinity collection. I need 4 more models. I've completed Infinity 1 and 2 collection. I just got the last figure for here, Infinity 2 today. So I might do something for that for YouTube. I regularly post on Instagram of games and stuff that I pick up. So if you're a collector, that you might be interested in seeing what I picked up. But yeah, that's about it for me, really. Again, I want to try and do some more stuff for YouTube.
Yeah, we'll have to create a, well, we have the YouTube channel, which is where you can find the podcasts. We'll have to put up a couple of like gameplays, so we can film it and you can see our ugly mugs as we struggle through games, probably curse our way through the first few levels or something.
I'd like to do some Let's Plays at some time. Although I think in the upcoming months, work is going to get rather busy again, so I'll probably be doing a lot of overtime.
Yeah, work is work's not great at the minute. There's always loads going on. We both have, well, Kingy works in the industry, shall we say. I am a programmer, not in the industry, but it's particularly busy where I am. It's that time of year for where I work. But yeah, we will eventually do a Let's Play. We will eventually put it online. You will eventually see it eventually. So
that's all right. Well, obviously we'll tell you on the podcast when that will be.
it will be well advertised. So yeah, I guess that's it for me. If there's anything else you need to add, Kingy?
No, not at all.
All right, so I guess it's time to say goodbye to you all, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, catch you later, guys.
I don't know where I was going with that one then, actually. You know when you just like drift off a little bit?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's a sign of getting old, that's what it is.
Oh, it's bad. I don't want to be old, but I already am.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, we're over 30 now and we're fucked, basically.
Yeah, I'll be dying soon.